Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Zaratul Aini, NIM 20052126, jurusan Pendidikan Pancasila dan Kewarganegaraan, Fakultas Ilmu Sosial UNP 2020. Tujuan saya membuat video ini yaitu untuk mengikuti UTS Aplikasi Bahasa Inggris. The reading the mark of college students are wide and diverse. Textbook, literature, supplementary assignment, reference material, manual, handbooks, and study guides. Each of their material is unique, and the student purpose for reading each is different. It might be for class lecture, make notes for discussion, review for an exam, or locate information for a paper. In the other hand, most tech reports that unique academic disciplines at different style, content, and conceptual complexity. To handle this different reading situation effective, a student must develop a reading flexibility skill, adjusting strategies, and textual to suit each reading situation. Many students think that the only way to become more offensive is to read faster. They believe that slow reading is poor reading. This is not the case. How you read is more important than how fast you read. If you read the 11 page a segment in your hour but remember only 16% of what you read, you are not reading efficiently. You can see then the efficient reading influence the adequate competition and recall within a reasonable time frame. The efficient reading influence equation competition and recall within a reasonable time frame. Sentence detail. After you have identified the key idea, the next step in understanding a sentence is to see how the detail affects its meaning. Most detail either add to or change or meaning of the key idea. Usually, they answer such a question about the subject or predicate, as what, where, which, when, how, or why. For example, Sam drove his car to Toronto last week. In the above sentence, Sam drove is the key idea of the sentence. Will his car answer that? To Toronto answer where, and the last week answer when. As you read a sentence, be sure notice how the details change, limit, or add to meaning of the key idea. Decide of each of the following examples. How to underline 14 affect the meaning of the key idea. Geometry is really a language, a way of describing things we see every day. The candidates with the most liberal attitude urgent further study of cloning. The film about the death of the basketball star was depressing. In the first example, the understand detail explain in what way seismic is a language. In the second example, the understand detail test which sentence only touch with the most liberal attitude. You get further study. In the third example, the underlined detail describe why. Not all film was depressing. The first step in determining how to read a given piece of writing is to assess it differently. Many features of the reading material itself influence how easily and how quickly you can read it. Here are a few important characteristics to consider. Number 1, the format. The physical agreement of a page can influence how easily material can be read. For example, it is often more difficult to read a page that is a solid block of print than is it to read a page on which the ideas are broken with heading, speaking, and listening. Number 2, graphic and visual material. The influences of map, picture, graphs, and charts also may influence your reading. Graphic elements present detailed information and require careful study. Number 3, typical aids. Features of print such as boldface, italics, colored type, and heading often make a page easier to hear, to read, and to understand. Heading usually announcement to topic about to be discussion and together from outlets of idea conferences the material. Number 4, language feature. Feature use as sentence like paragraph like and vocabulary level likely demonstrate how diffuse a piece of material to read. Generally, the longer the sentence and paragraph in a selection, the more diffusion they are to read. Number 5, subject matter. The type and number of ideas and conceptually that an author present influencer diffusely. For instance, a passage that complete sentence fits they are product require close reading. Words metal the discussion every day and now word topics normality require less careful attention. Also, a page that explain one new idea is often easier to read than a passage and presenter three of your new passage there's among us. Number 6, legits. Legacy characteristics, activities, and essayities are often more difficult to read than the store ones. Legalities material demand sustained consideration and require you to relate large number of ideas, maintaining a broader focus and perspective. Number 7. Organization. Some material progress in an orderly, logical fashion from point to point. Other, however, are more loosely organized, and the writer pattern of thought is more difficult is identified. As a general rule, the less carefully organized writing material is more diffusion is to read. They are no rule to use in deciding how much slow down or speed to competition for differing discussion. Page of 3. In understanding a paragraph, the first thing you need to know is what the paragraph is about. Then you have to understand each of the sentence and what they are saying. Next, you have to see how the sentence relate to one another. Finally, to understand the main point of the paragraph, you have to consider what all the sentence taken together mean. A paragraph can be divided as a group of related ideas. The sentence relates of the another in a sentence that adds is about a common person, place, thing, or idea. This common subject or idea is called the topic. Simply defined, the topic is when the acting paragraph is about. If you had to choose a title for a paragraph, the one or two words you would choose are the topic. As you read the following paragraph, notice that each sentence discusses mortgage. One of the largest components of debt is the mortgage. The debt was on real estate. Speaking of the mortgage, it is important is distinction between real estate mortgage and mortgage as the type of security for adult obligation. In one sense, one mortgage a car to secure a car loan. Mortgage borrowing except the combined borrowing of comparison and municipality by a wide margin. Paragraph main idea. The paragraph main idea is the point that the whole paragraph makes. To identify topic and main idea is paragraph. It will help to you understand the difference between general and specific. A general idea is a broad idea that applies to a large number of specific items. The term clothing is a general because they refer to large collection of specific items. The pastorate reply card is even more specific. Paragraph main idea. The paragraph main idea is the point that the whole paragraph makes. To identify topics and main idea in paragraph. It will help you to understand the difference between general and specific. A general idea is a broad idea that applies to a large number of specific items. The term clothing is general because it refers to a large collection of specific items like shawls, blouses, shirts, scarves, and so on. A specific idea or term is more detailed or particular. It perfects the paragraph curve in even more specific. Page 4. Usually one sentence expresses the main idea. This sentence is called the topic sentence. The topic sentence can be located anywhere in the paragraph. However, there are several positions where it is mostly likely to be found. Number 1. Topic sentence first. Most often the topic sentence is placed first in the paragraph. In this type of paragraph, the author first states his or her main point and then explain it. Number 2. Topic sentence last. The second most likely place for a topic sentence to appear is last in the paragraph. When using this arrangement, a writer leads up to the main point and then directly stated it at the end. Number 3. Topic sentence in the middle. If it is placed neither first nor last, then the topic sentence appears somewhere in the middle of paragraph. In this arrangement, the sentence before the topic sentence leads up to or introduces the main idea. Thoughts that follow the main idea explain or describe it. topic sentence first and last. Occasionally, the main idea will be stated in the beginning of a paragraph and again at the end. Writer might use these organizations to express an important idea or to explain an idea that needs clarification. Pack of 5. Sentence key idea and sentence detail. Sentence key idea: every sentence expresses at least one key idea or basic message. This key idea is made up of two parts: a simple subject and a simple predicate. The simple subject, usually a noun, identifies the person or object the sentence is about. The main part of the predicate, the simple predicate, is a verb, which tells what the person or object is doing or has done. Usually, a sentence contains additional information about the subject and or the predicate. To identify the topic of a sentence, ask yourself this question: who are you? The paragraph is about. Your answer is this question will be the topic of the paragraph. To read sentence effectively, you can do the introduction. Number 1. Search for the most important information in the sentence. Number 2. Think of certain group of words that are more important than other. Number 3. Try to see how the parts of sentence are connected. Example: the average Indonesian lives up to 65 years. The key idea: this sentence is Indonesian's life. It's expressed by the simple subject and predicate. The simple subject of the sentence is Indonesia. It tells what the sentence is about. The word the identifier give more information about the subject. Indonesia by telling which one. The main part of the predicate. The main part of the predicate is the verb life. This tells the condition of the average Indonesian. The first of a sentence gives more information about the predicate by telling you many years living. In many long and completed sentences, the key idea is not the observer as the previous example. To find the key idea, ask who are that is the sentence about? What is happening in sentence? There are examples of a completed sentence that might be found in a psychology textbook. Violence in sport, both at amateur and professional level, has increased dramatically over the past 10 years. In this sentence, the answer to the question what is the sentence about is violence. The verb is had increased and the reminded, and the sentence explain the pace and level where violence exists and how it has increased in a period of time. B. Sentence detail. After you have identified the key idea, the next step in understanding a sentence is to see how the detail effect is many. More detail exists add to or change the main of the key idea. Usually, they answer short questions about the subject of predicate as well: where, which, when, who, or why. For example, Sam drove his car to Toronto last week. In the above sentence, Sam drove is the key idea of the sentence, while his car answer this what to Toronto answer where. and last week answer when. As you read two sentences, be sure to notice how the details change, limit, or add to meaning of the key idea. Decide for a following example how the understanding portion affect the meaning of the key idea. Climate is really a language, a way of describing things we see every day. The sentence with the most liberal attitude urged further study of planning. The film about the tale of basket star was depressing. In the first example, the understanding detail explained in what way a ministry is a language. In the second example, the understanding detail test which sentence only touch with the most liberal attitude you gain after studying. In the third example, the understanding detail description which not a film was depressing. Or of 6. Combined sentence, a related sentence. A combined sentence, many sentences express more than one key idea. Often a writer will combine two or more closely related idea into the sentence. This is done for three reasons. Number 1, to clarify the idea. Number 2, to emphasize their connecting. Number 3, to show that they are of equally important. For example, some students decided to take the final exam, and other chose to write a term paper. In the sentence, two related ideas are combined. Number 1, some students decided to take a final exam. Number 2, some students chose to write a term paper. Combined ideas are other sport-based punctuation in the sentence. To complete idea can be combined by semicolon. Example: some students had math, others enjoy it. A comma followed by a conjunction, and, but, or, not, so, for, yet. Example: data processing is my major is having to take several math courses. Related sentence. A writer often expands a sentence by adding a related but less important idea. This related idea has its own noun and verb, but this expression is completed thought and canon than by itself. For example, the understood portion of the following sentence has a noun, a verb, but it does not make sentence until you read the entire sentence. Here is the example. After the left the party, we stopped for a pizza. In the sentence, the more important idea is we stopped it for a pizza. The first part of the sentence gives a reason that explains the related sentence. A writer often expands a sentence by adding a related but less important idea. This related idea has its own noun and verb, but it expresses a complete thought and cannot stand by itself. We understand it. Portion of the following sentence has a noun and a verb, but in the sentence, the more important idea is we stop it. The first part of the sentence gives a reason. This explains the second part. The idea of lesser important usually perform one or more of the following function. Describe this. Example: my sister Who is 8 years old got the chicken pox? Expert cause. Example, because I was out jogging. I missed your phone call. Started purpose or reason. Example, Georgine skipped his English class, so he could study for this psychology test. Describe best condition or circumstance. Example, if a past introduction psychology, I will register for child psychology. Express time relationship. Example, while I was waiting for you the bus, I review my biology notes. Paragraph main idea. The paragraph main idea, the point the whole paragraph make. To identify topic and main idea in paragraph. It will be help you to understand its difference between general and specific. A general idea brought a plural number something. The term clothing in general because it refers to a large collection of specific items, like shoes, blouse, server, and so on. A specific idea or term is more detailed or particular. It refers to individual items. The word car is an example. Is a particular term. The price red plate. Pack of 7. Contact clues. Contact clues can help you to figure out the meaning of familiar words. While you are unlikely to find missing word and a printed page, you will often find words that you not know. The word around the unfamiliar word, the sentence context, give you close to what word the fit and make a sense. So clothes are called context clothes. Example, the couple finally secured a table at the popular, crowded restaurant. From the sentence, you can tell that secured means got or took one sip of the table. There are 4 types of context clues to look for: confusion, example, context, and inference. Definition clues. Many times a writer defines a word directly or identically immediately following its use. The writer may define a word directly by giving a brief definition of or providing a synonym. Choose what the precise means is a reference to and can be defined as are often used. At other times, a writer might define a word identically. Indirect definition usually follow the word and are set off by commas, parentheses, or dash are complete. Example, introduction refers to the process of relation from the noun to the noun. Probability, the likelihood that a very occurs is important in the field of the statistics. To identify the topic of a sentence, ask yourself is question: who are the paragraph is about? Your answer to this question will be the topic of the paragraph. To read sentence effectively, you can do the structure. Share for the most important information in the sentence. Think of certain group of words were important than other. 3. Try to see how the part of the sentence are connected. Example, the average Indonesian live up to 9 year. The key idea of this sentence is Indonesian live. It expresses by the simple subject and predicate. The simple subject of this sentence is Indonesia. Is tell what the sentence is about. The word the average give more information about the subject. Indonesia by telling which one. The main part of the predicate is the verb live. This tells the condition of the average Indonesia. The rest of the sentence give more information about the predicate by telling how many years live. Example clues. Writer often include example to help to explain to clarify a word. Suppose you do not know the meaning of the word toxic, and you find it used in the following sentence. Toxic material, such as arsenic, absterose, pesticides, and the like can cause bodily damage. The sentence gives your example of toxic materials. From the example given, which are all poisonous substances, you could contain the toxic means poisonous. Context clue. It is something possible to determine of the meaning of the include. Word from a word of the parasite in the context meaning. Notice in the following sentence who a word offset in the meaning from the bold face, or proving a clue to its meaning. One of the dinner guests succumbed to the temptation to have a second piece of cake, but the other resisted. Thought you may not know the meaning of succumbed. You know the one goose who succumbed was different from the other who recited. The word but suggests this, since the other recited a second dessert. You can tell that one ghost gave and had one. Thus, succumbed meant the opposite of research. Part of a word structures. Many words in the English language are made up of word part called prefixes, roots, and suffixes. These word parts have specific meanings that, when added together, can help you determine the meaning of the word as a whole. Prefixes appear at the beginning of many English words. They alter the meaning of the word to which they are connected. See table 143 two common prefixes that are grouped according to meaning. Roots carry the basic or core meaning of a word, whose then of roots were the used to build word in the English language. Three of the most common and most useful are listed in table 2. If you know that the root this means, tell or say. They will have a call to the meaning of such words. This text spec for someone to write down. This station were spoken to be writing down. And diction, wording or meaning of speaking. Suffixes are word ending that often change the part of the space of word. For example, adding the suffixing "ye" to the noun called produces the adjective cloud, accompanying the change in part of space in the shift in meaning. If you know the meaning of the root word and the way in which different suffixes affect the meaning of the root word, you will be able to figure out a word meaning when a suffix is added. A list of common suffixes their meaning appeared in Table 3. How to use word parts. When you come upon a word you do not know, keep the following point in the mind. First, look for the root. Think of this as looking for a word. Insert a larger word. Often a letter or two will be missing. Example: author, überpost, operate, if defense, able noun, edible or able. Number 2, if you not recognize the root, then you will probably not be able to figure out the word. The next step is a check its meaning in a dictionary. Number 3, if you do not recognize the root, next look for a prefix. If the 3 is 1, determining how it change the meaning of the word. Example: an, iterable post, operative, on, not pause after. Number 4, located the suffix if there is one, and determine how it further adds to or change the meaning of the root word. Example: another, or able postulate or life, able apple, life started or condition. Number 5, next, try out the meaning in the sentence in which the word was used. Substitute or meaning for the word and see whether the sentence makes sense. Example: some of the victims' drugs were inedible at the time of the crime. Inedible, not able to be spoken. There is no rule to use in deciding how much to slow down or speed up to compress it for differing degrees of difficulty. Intent, you must use our judgment and adjust your handling to the coincidence at hand. For example, you can deliberately slow down if you consider a passage with long, complicated sentence or an article that present complex idea or uses technical vocabulary. Or you can deliberately increase your speed if you come across material that's present. Strengthening word idea and use everyday vocabulary. In editing, to adjusting your rate, you should also alter the manner in which you read the material. Using different techniques to suit different types of material. Baiklah, mungkin hanya itu yang dapat saya sampaikan. Jika ada kesalahan kata, saya mohon maaf. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.